Does anybody remember the 1980s? Those were the days where you used to go outside. Times were a lot different back then because now, like, we have social media, we have iPads, we have technology. Back in the day, you had to go outside to have fun. You had to rely on television for like TV shows and stuff like that. And to be honest, I kind of miss the old days where you had to look at a old TV guy. Well, not old back then, but there was a book called a TV Guy, and it used to tell you like what TV shows were out. There was only a certain amount of channels, and the TV Guy was your only source to figure out what was on TV. There was no digital video recorder. There was no TV Guy on the DVD. On the cable box. So this was your only source. There's only two ways you were able to get it. One is through the newspaper. Number two, just buy TV Guy on its own at the your local supermarket. And the only bad thing about the 80s was the fact that television used to turn off around 10 o'clock. On Fridays, you're lucky if the TV goes all the way to 12. And now you either had a Nintendo Entertainment System to keep yourself entertained. If you were like a kid, you probably had toys. You probably had some stuff. Um, I had toys when I was young. I had a Nintendo. I didn't have that many games. Or you can have a VCR, which they were very expensive at the time. The first time the VCR had came out, it was about $1,000. So there, you had to figure out like what was going to be your source of entertainment now. And in order to see cartoons as well, you had to wake up like at 6 in the morning on a Saturday, and sometimes 6 in the morning during school hours to catch anything. Because if you pass that time frame, 6 a.m. to maybe 10 in the morning, like that's it. You have to wait till the next day, or if you did it on a Saturday, you have to wait till the next Saturday. But yeah, also, um, like my family didn't have much money at the time, so our way of getting a Nintendo game, you had to go to your neighbor's house, or maybe like walk a few blocks, and you had to go borrow from your friend, trade, and that's the most that you have to make from on the weekend, because if you didn't have a good game, you're stuck with it for the weekend either way. Or just borrow movies. Most of the time, my friends they had movies, but they were recorded like three movies on a VHS tape. If you set it to EP, it makes the length a little bit longer, and you can record up to three movies because it can record up to 6 to 8 hours. And we would just try to watch whatever they had recorded. We try to record cartoons and stuff like that. That was our DVR at the time. But right now, since we have a lot of technology, it's kind of hard to even watch anything now because everything's so like, um, everything's just there. It's just like it's just too much. It's overwhelming. Also, like my folks didn't have money, so we had to buy toys from the thrift store. The flea market. The flea market was the best place to buy Nintendo games because they used to sell them for like $5. They would sell movies for the same price, sometimes $3. Um, Before, in those times, there was no such thing as like Pawn Stars or things like that. If anything was old, people didn't want it. They just try to get rid of it as cheap as they can. Nowadays, like anything old is valuable to everybody. But as you start growing up, like I did, I just started purchasing everything that I used to want as a child and stuff like that. And I don't know how everybody else's childhood was, but I think the 80s was amazing. And anything you watch on TV on a Saturday was something you talked to your classmates about when you went back to school. That was like the talk of Monday. You just like, did you see Saved by the Bell? Did you see I don't know, Zack and Slater fighting or something? That was just like it was like a big deal, I guess, because there wasn't much out there to watch either way. So everybody pretty much watched the same stuff. And nowadays, to be honest, you can't even have a decent conversation with anybody that's young, like 20, 22, because I try having conversations and everything that I can quote, like, Family Guy and stuff. Family Guy quotes a lot of shows from the 80s. They don't comprehend anything. A lot of them just like Jake Paul and Logan Paul. And, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like everybody's starting to lose their humor. And even if they wanted to work, I mean, even if they wanted to watch anything, nobody watches anything unless it's trending. It's conversations start becoming boring. Sometimes you have to watch TV to keep people entertained or just to keep them guessing. Like not guessing. I want to say like you got to watch TV in order to make a conversation, make quotes, things like that. You know, like if try having a conversation with somebody that's like 20 and above, and well, yeah, like 20 years old, at least 22, 24. They don't even know who the Simpsons are. It surprises me because every time I tell people, like, do you know who the Simpsons are? And they're like, are they the guys who predict the future? The cartoon that predicts the future? And I'm like, it's like, I think it's kind of cringy because, these are the people who are the future. So I don't know, man. Just makes you kind of think and stuff. But like I said, the 80s were the best times for me. And, we're never going to get our, the 80s back, but all we have is the memories now. Thanks God. Thank God for YouTube. But yeah, I just wanted to make a short video and share a little bit about like the 1980s. And, I'm not good at making videos, but I'm trying to. And please like, and hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys soon.